Welcome to another episode of the Pet Show. I'm your host, Ashley, and with me for the first time is my beautiful friend, Data, and of course, Bethlehema is gracing us with her presence again. Today, we're going to be talking about polygamy, and our case in point is the trending conversation around Yon Edochie's breaking news that he has a second wife. We're going to get into the conversation in a minute. We'll be right back.
Hey there! Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Welcome back. We already know this story, right? He's a Nollywood actor, in case you don't know him, and he has been married for, I think, 18 years or so. Yeah. And when he was celebrating 16 years of marriage, he came and professed love for his wife, how she was loyal to him. She married him when he had nothing. They built their life together. That there's usually temptation, but he's always fighting it off because he knows what's most important to him, and he always goes back home to his wife and blah, blah, blah. And 2 years later, you're telling us that you've taken a second wife and she has a son for you. How did you feel when you first heard that, Data? When you first read about the story?
It was like, if he was not that much of a public figure coming out to, give accolades to his wife, it would have been a different thing. You say, okay, it's an African man thing.
Yeah.
But this one, he was, many people were his marriage goals, Abi. Yeah. Abi, he was many people's marriage goals.
Yes.
So it was heartbreaking to see that all the while he was being hypocritical, because this relationship did not just spring up. I think it's been on for a while. And how can you do the same thing you're preaching against, let me say in quotes? So I think it was hypocritical and it was heartbreaking.
Bethlehem, please tell me how you feel when you heard the story.
It's just like she said, it was unexpected. Like, a lot of people are looking up to him and expecting him to be, good and all of that. So it was really hypocritical, especially after he said all he said on their anniversary about his wife, and then you just come out to do the exact opposite of what you've been standing for.
Yeah.
It would give a lot of other people a different perspective and feel like, well, if y'all could do it, why not? And all of that. So
yeah.
It wasn't really nice.
I like that you brought up the whole African man thing. So let's talk about our culture. We are all from 3 different cultures, and in my own culture, I don't think there's anything wrong with polygamy. I don't think my culture frowns at polygamy. My grandfather had 2 wives. But your culture, where do they stand with polygamy?
Yeah, I don't think we frown at polygamy too, because even the chiefs and the Amayanabos of our lands are married with 2 wives or more. So our culture totally accepts polygamy.
Okay, what of yours?
Well, I'm not sure if the culture totally permits it, but I do know that most of the men are usually promiscuous.
Okay.
So I don't know.
But do you think that now, as millennials and evolved people, we're educated, we're exposed to a lot of things now, do you think we should start frowning at polygamy, or we should just learn to accept it? Like, I'm not even coming from the angle of being a Christian. I just mean as evolved individuals. Polygamy, should we still be okay with polygamy?
When it comes to relationships, I think where there's this thing, you guard your relationship jealously.
Yeah.
It's human nature to want somebody all to yourself. It's sad when you see somebody sharing those intimate things with you, see the person share with someone else. So I think it's normal human nature to want somebody all to yourself, to me. Okay. So I don't think I would accept polygamy.
Okay, let me ask you, Bethlehem, you're the only single person amongst us. Yeah. Would you're in love, you're about to get married, and he comes to you in all honesty that I'm open to polygamy. I'm not sure I'm going to do it, but I'm open to it just in case. Is that like a deal breaker for you?
Like, why would I enter water so enter my eye? Like, I would not agree in any way it's a good thing you came to me because, like, you told me before time. Well,
Yeah.
like, why would I accept it? I want you all to myself, just like she said. That's the whole point of being in a relationship with someone. Why then were we faithful when we're dating?
Yeah.
To then get married and marry other people too.
Exactly.
No, it's a no.
For me,
no
for me, I think the most difficult part is just that thought of sharing, like she said. Like I can't imagine. I mean, I would not even want to share a piece of cake, let alone a full human being. So it's
exactly.
crazy. Like I don't want to share. But let me take us back to your for a minute. Apparently or allegedly, they say he has always been unfaithful to his wife, which is why 2 years ago he came out with all that speech of why he always goes back to his wife. Yes, there's temptation, but he never falls for it, right? Even last year, there was a rumor that he had a child. He still came, he denied it, blah, blah, blah. We all know how cheating is rampant now, like and it's not even gender based, like both genders are on it, even in marriages. Do you think open marriage will solve the issue? Like if people are in open marriages and they are honest with themselves, the way Will and Jada were, and have that agreement, okay, fine, if you want to see someone else, you can. I can see someone else, but we're staying married, we're staying as a unit and all that. So do you think open marriage will fix this whole cheating affair?
I don't think, I honestly don't think. Why would I be? Things are bound to happen. You could go there, and the fact that it wasn't even okay with you in the first place, it doesn't tell that the marriage was going on well.
Yeah.
So because you're supposed to love me in all my entirety, good, bad, everything. So the fact that you go out, things are bound to happen. I won't be comfortable with open marriage. I can't just not lose sleep over who you're going to see if you could catch feelings or something.
Yes. What of you?
The whole concept of open marriage doesn't really make sense to me. What is open and then marriage doing in the same sentence? I think marriage is supposed to be one man, one woman thing. That's just my opinion. So it doesn't make sense.
And I don't think open marriage will keep any partner that doesn't want to stay,
wanna
because
go.
I think part of cheating for them is that trail of doing something sneaky, of hiding around and just being like eating the forbidden fruit. So when you make it an open marriage, they won't get that thrill again. So there'll still be lies, there'll still be hiding text messages and all of that. So I don't think open marriage is going to fix anything at all. But I still want to stick with Yul Edochie here. I saw a few persons on Twitter said his political career is in the dust now with what happened. So I want to ask, do you think there's a connection between how a man is in his marriage and being a leader of a country or organization or anything? Is there a connection?
I feel so. I feel there is, like, if you cannot stick to the promises you made in marriage, what is married? Me that you promise to love, to guide, to protect, me that I have your best interest. How can you stick to promises you make to public people you don't even know? That's it to me. So initially I didn't even think it stood a chance. So
I don't think so either.
I don't know. Now it's way worse.
So do you think there's a connection?
There definitely is, because it tells a lot about your character. Just like she said, you're not true to your word, and then of course we know that politics is all about telling us what you're going to do. And if in marriage, which is just you and one person, you can't keep to your word, what makes us believe that you can? I mean, you just literally slandered your character and your name and everything. So
it doesn't mean polygamists who can't make good decisions. It's just when you promise to love one person.
I think if you're open to it, like you already know
from
this
the
person is a polygamy,
exactly.
and you're honest about it from the beginning, that means you're an honest person. It doesn't
Not
mean that
portraying one thing and then doing the
doing
exact
another. Yes. This conversation is getting interesting, but we'll be right back.
Have you gotten your PVC? As the 2023 Nigerian general elections draw nearer, do not be an onlooker. You can better still join a party and get your PVC ready. Our leaders have started showing interest to run, so what are you waiting for? Do not say your vote do not count. Yes, it does, because if it doesn't, the politicians will be running after you to buy your vote. Let your voice be heard through participation.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
Welcome back. I want to ask us a question that I really need us to be honest with. Like, is monogamy really for everyone? Like, should it be forced? Like, let's leave love apart. Yes, you don't want to share your partner and all that. But monogamy, that's being with just one person for the rest of your life, is it really for everyone? Should it be forced on everyone, or we should allow loopholes in relationships where you can, when you find yourself, or when you've stayed a while in that marriage, you discover that, okay, I need, should monogamy be compulsory as individuals?
Is it even compulsory now?
It's not. It's not, but we frown at it. We frown at polygamy, right? So should we start embracing, let's leave culture, let's leave Christianity or anything, or let's leave love aside? Should we start accepting polygamy as, yes, this person is my person, but he has needs that he needs to go and, feel, or she. I'm not trying to be gender specific here. Whatever the case might be, some ladies might get bored of their partners or whatever. So should it be something we embrace?
Monogamy, should it be forced on people? I think couples should have the discussion. I've heard of some couples that, go out from time to time to cheat. So you can have that discussion, whatever works for you. But it doesn't work for me. So anything that works, you can do. I'm not judgmental. There are many people that can't stay faithful. So if it works for you and your partner, you go ahead.
I've actually seen a question on a page before where someone asked, what's the craziest thing you've ever done with your partner, or what's the craziest thing you do with your partner? And someone's response, obviously anonymously, said sometimes, like few times a year, they take a trip outside Nigeria, go to where nobody knows them, and hook up with people, like with different people, and come back. So they are satisfying. They both know what they want, and they are satisfying that. So having this kind of scenario in mind, what do you think? Should we still hold on to monogamy like our lives depend on it?
No, and the fact is we don't even right now. But the thing I have an issue with is, just like you said, everybody's different. You know what works for you, and I'm very sure that there's someone else out there that has the same orientation as you have. So why would you find someone who thinks actually different from you and force them into being what you want them to be? If you know you want to be polygamous, find someone who is okay with it and go ahead and do that. So I think this kind of conversations with what's happening these days should be what should be had before you say you want to marry someone. If it's okay for you and your partner, sure, why not? But if it's not okay, and then you guys are married and in the marriage, then you want to come up with being polygamous, I think that's the problem for me.
I think people need to start having really honest, deep conversations while they are dating. Like, leave what's your favorite color, what are you wearing, all of that. Like, you ask, you don't even wait for, maybe you say because he has never brought it up, you just assume that he's not into it. On your own, bring up these kind of conversations. Are you open to polygamy, or would you want to be with someone else while we're together? It's just, conversations that people should have.
Because, because you'll be surprised that wild sexual fantasies people have. Well, people have really wild sexual fantasies.
And if they don't fulfill they start being unhappy. Which will bring me to my second question. I know before we started filming, producer said something about how maybe the man was unhappy and that's why he got a second wife, right? So we know that's not the case. In his own case, I read that he has always been promiscuous. Maybe today starts. That this one, he only ended up marrying this one because of his political ambition, and she threatened that if you don't marry me, I'll let everyone know that I have a secret child. But my question now is, do you think unhappiness is enough reason to cheat or, look outside your relationship? I'm not just talking about marriage, just in relationship generally.
Okay, I think it's not a good enough reason, because we get unhappy with a lot of other situations besides our relationship, but do we just abandon it and move on? We find the problem, we know what it is, and then we try to fix it. But somehow when it comes to relationships, everybody's just looking for the fastest way to get out. I think if you're unhappy with your partner, then you guys should talk about it and try to fix it. When it is proven that it cannot be fixed, then you move on, but not the slightest discomfort and you're out the door already.
What do you think?
It's same, because I can be unhappy with my partner, doesn't mean my partner is happy with me. What if he or she is faithful and I'm cheating? So you discuss. If it's beyond you, then you agree to, you agree to move on.
Then, since we're all ladies here, especially you, Data, that you're married, some married women blame their cheating on the fact that their husband is not supporting them financially. Do you think that's enough excuse?
I cannot judge. But yeah, I am the typical biblical woman that, men are providers, women are chillers and all. But I'm not chilling anyway. I'm trying.
Yes.
But if my man can provide for me, then I should work. Or if I'm not happy, because this thing you're saying, I know somebody that pays the rent, feeds the children, every single thing, and what the man pays her back with is cheating. And sometimes I'm like, what are you still doing here? And she's scared to even cheat. If I were her, I'll cheat.
Let me say,
If I were in her shoes, I would cheat, because in a typical marriage setting, if at least I bring something to the table, if I don't bring money, I bring emotional support, I bring advice, I bring catering to the house, I bring a lot to the table. But if I'm with a partner that does nothing for me, then it's safe to say I can, I don't know, maybe move on. Or if I cheat, I don't think anybody will hold me. I don't know, but I don't know.
while you were talking, you said something about do not judge, right? That you don't want to judge married women that are cheating in their marriage. And let me take us to church for a minute, right? The judge that Bible is talking about that we should not do is to, tell whether unbelievers that they are going to go to hellfire, this will be their punishments, blah, blah, blah. That is the judgment. I believe the Bible is saying thou shalt not judge. But I don't think there's anything wrong with calling out someone that is doing something wrong. But our generation, we've turned minding our business to looking the other way when people closest to us are doing something wrong. So I just wanted to point that out, that it's okay to tell your friend that what you're doing is wrong. Yes, I might not completely understand why you're doing it, because I'm not in your shoes, I'm not walking in your shoes and all that. But it still doesn't mean that what you're doing is right? Yeah. And you also try to explain why a woman might cheat if her husband is not providing. And I just want to share my own 2 cents. I think that I'm not saying cheating is excusable, but if we're being honest with ourselves, sometimes the partner pushes the person to cheat. Like, there are things that you can do that can push your partner to the wall. We hear about how they will say a lady, she stopped taking care of herself. Every time the husband comes back from home, she's smelling of onions, he's smelling of this. But when he goes outside, he'll be seeing fine girls and blah, blah, blah. But that's the same thing for a lady. Like, if you are not getting that attention, that emotional support, that love, that respect, that care, whether monetary or not, it can also push a lady. Like, you start feeling lonely, then you now go out, you meet a guy that is saying something to you, what you want to hear. It can also push it. I'm not excusing it, but it can also, if we're being honest with ourselves, a partner can push whoever they are with to cheat. But Bethlehem, I wanted to ask you, as a single lady, right? As a single lady, what would you advise a lady that is getting married? Like, yeah, they say don't enter with a backup plan, or if you enter marriage hoping for a divorce, you will get a divorce, right? So don't enter with a backup plan. But what advice will you give yourself or any other single lady that is getting married to, in a way that will protect her, so she can still have a life of her own, just in case anything happens? What advice would you give?
If eventually, if he cheats on you, because not me, if he cheats on you, or if everything goes south, you still have something to hold on to. Your life is not just, most women are just in the house, just doing nothing, not living their lives. Yeah. So live your life. And
I have something to say about what you said, but I want to hear from Data first. For someone that is married and someone that you're the primary caregiver of your daughter, right? So you don't have a 9 to 5. And we know how they always say, make sure you get something doing, make sure you get something doing, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them are talking from their own perspective. So in all honesty, do you think that it's possible to have it all at the same time? Like, have your career, like, and also, still be your child's caregiver?
It's very possible, because you can look at it from the angle of, what if you were not married? You still have a child. You still find ways to, provide and all. But I think the pressure self on the women thing is too much. Your so many expectations from us. You will keep the home, you will, it's a lot. But just like she rightfully said, you don't really have to have a 9 to 5. As long as you daily develop yourself, as long as you use the different means available, social media, to at least do something. I'm not saying provide for the home if you can't, because whether I like it or not, housewives were very instrumental in the upkeep of a home. We do a lot that money can't even buy. But just daily develop yourself so that you won't be taken for granted, and you have value for yourself as well. It's not even just about the man. So develop yourself, find the means to at least make money somehow. And
I was watching a YouTube video, a live video on YouTube a while back, and one of the ladies that we had on, she's in the HR industry, right? And I think she said she studied microbiology or something in school. But how did she cross over to HR? After, when she got married, when she started having kids, she withdrew from 9 to 5, right? And stayed home for about 7-8 years. And when she was ready to get back out there, a friend told her, a company that is just starting, they need HR person. And even though, you don't have experience, they are not really bent on experience because they can't really afford an experienced person right now. So just go in and see whether they can offer you anything. And she went there, but she prepared herself before going. And she sold herself based on the fact that she has been a housewife for 7 years. I have managed a home for 7 years. I have been their nurse, I have been their teacher, I have been the caregiver, I've been a manager. Like, she sold that part. So I think we need to stop making it look like a housewife is not doing anything.
Exactly.
Like, it's a lot of work.
Lot.
You will see men come back and they don't know where anything is in that house.
Exactly.
I read a thread on Twitter where men were talking about how it was a mess for them when their wives traveled, some just for 24 hours for the weekend. Like, they couldn't figure things out. The house was upside down. They could not care for the child. Like, your child is sick, you take your child to the hospital. You cannot even remember the date your child was born, your child's weight. Like, all these are things that housewives do easily.
The pressure.
So we really need to take it easy on them, like they're not doing anything.
Has to do with the woman, because she also did not see herself as just a housewife.
Yeah, true.
She learned from that experience, but most women, or some women, just, what can I do? I'm just a housewife.
Yeah.
But she took that as a learning process for her, and it worked for her. So.
Yeah, and I like something you said earlier about, living your life. It's not just trying to live your life to make money.
Exactly.
Like, enjoy yourself.
Be happy.
Still hold on to your relationships with your friends, with your... Like, don't push everybody away and just be an isolated individual.
Leave your happiness and your entirety to one man.
Exactly.
The man cannot even make himself totally happy. Now making you happy in every way.
So whatever it is that you love doing before you got married, still stick to it. If it's movies, if it's going to swim, if it's hanging out with your friends, still have a life outside whatever it is. And like you said, to daily improve yourself, even if for some reason you cannot have a business at that particular time, or you cannot have a 9 to 5. There are courses online. There are free courses online. I constantly just develop yourself. Don't end every year the exact same place you were when you started the year. So that's basically it. Sorry, guys, this is the much we can take in today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share your thoughts with us at the comment section. We really love to hear from you, and we'll see you in our next episode. Bye.